Hello, Mike Rand. Good morning, Mike Rand. Good morning, Sonia. Steve Greenleaf. Good morning, Adam. Everybody, sorry about that false start there. Good morning. So, in case we haven't met before, my name is Doug, and this is Doppler'S Gear Garage, and we are spending some time today the brand new Tonex plug, which I'm really digging a lot. All right, so first of all, let me know where it is that you're coming from. I am not, at this point, with my coffee. I've been separated from that, but I do have a little Gatorade. So it's probably a really good time to start with one of my favorite little parts of the show here, is we can do this favorite thing where we raise them up. So kindly let me know where it is that you're coming from and what it is that you were drinking this morning. Or Sonia, I guess it's kind of, what is it, the afternoon there? And I want to talk about creative cycles today. And I want to not be tripping on my cable. I'm tripping. There we go. All right, so one of the things about being a musician is that there is a certain amount of cadence in the way that we exist, right? And Chris Alexander, hey, you made it. So did you already do the dive meet? So one of the things that 6:17 p.m. How do you say guten Nacht? I don't know. Muy bien, muchas gracias, mi buen amigo. So, creativity, and last week we talked a little bit about intervals. I want to kind of hopefully do some things that'll spark something in you and your playing. One of the things about the guitar that's really neat is because it's a shape-based instrument, you can do things around the instrument kind of once you've laid a foundation with a key, and you can use these vehicles to practice, and in so doing, you're instilling a certain amount of confidence in your fingertips. You're reinforcing the neurons to go, oh, I can go here, I can go there. Over the past couple of weeks, that's one of the exercises that I showed y'all. And the thing about that, kind of like, gosh darn it, it started taking root, and I'm able to, well, so to speak, I'm able to do things in between pairs of strings that I wasn't able to do before really sitting in with that exercise. And one of the things about us as guitar players is that one of the ruts, because the practice and the knowledge and the confidence and that emotional roller coaster that we all go on, like some days we're great and other days we're like, gosh, I'm terrible. I shouldn't have even picked up the instrument. The practice and intelligent practice informs the fingertips and allows us to lay a foundation that enables us to kind of take some of those bumps in that road out. So with that said, no believing in 15 minutes. Well, best of luck. A number one spot, hopefully, again today. So if we were to take the key of G major, G, hold the A, hold the B, half to C, hold the D, hold the E, hold the F sharp, half to G, and be able to kind of take the second string, got a gate on, which is going D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and we kind of as we begin to kind of work those intervallic and kind of parallel diatonic relationships. Hey, you hang on a second here. I have not tried the Valitron yet. Yet being the operative word. But I keep being reminded about it. Dr. Phil, great to see you. Cafe Mocha, excellent, excellent. 4-mile run. Well done, sir. Much better. There we go. Tonex Pro versus iRig Duo. So, the thing that you're hearing, my friend, is that's the new Tonex plug. And this is the connected mobile app. And getting back to the subject, so what I want you to try doing, and that's just doing doubles, 1E and a, 2E and a. And you walk that all the way through, and the neat thing, you can then, instead of just doing the two notes, now that was a little weird. You can do that little split right. Let's see if I got that camera. Hold on, let me get over to this right here. A little something fancy. That app is not launched. Okay, smarty pants. Let's do that. Take a moment. Nandini, hello. All right, let's get you to do the right thing here real quick. Hold on a second. There we go. All right, so what we've got over here, we got this guy, right? Nope. Why are you not doing what you were supposed to do a minute ago? Come on. Okay, hang on just 1 second. Now you gonna follow? No, it's gonna be one of those days. I get it. What's going on, Radar? I see you there. Let's get this thing working properly here. You gonna work for me now? No, you're not. It's just gonna be like that today, isn't it? Oh, I see. You're in the wrong mode. I'm either stubborn or stupid. It's a combination of the two. I don't want you doing that down there. I want you doing up here. There we go. Why are you over there? Let's go to this bank. That's what we're looking for. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience. All right. So back to our previously scheduled program. So we've got this little angle right here. And this little spot, kind of getting all four fingers, and that's going to be a C, F sharp, G, and an A. Kind of gets that momentum going there with something kind of cool. So the idea is as you begin to work with wider intervals, you begin to kind of go, you know what, that's not that hard once you start to get the hang of it. And the idea, oh, I'm sorry, I'm over here. And those little finger rolls are a huge part of just getting that control going. All right, Nandini, how's it going? Everything going well in your world, if you know what I'm saying? We haven't had a chance to check in for a minute. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend, though. Nandini is one of my faithful students, of course. Awesome. Thank you very much, Sonia. I appreciate it. Once I flip and got my... Oh, wait. So the deal is, the way Bluetooth wants to work, you have to have the right app going in the foreground like that for it to do what you need it to do. But this little shot is really cool. And the neat thing is you get that little bit down the neck, and then you got this guy over here, which is the right-hand cam. So the other thing I want to talk a little bit about is this right-hand part of this. So if you would just stay in the key of G, and something I call the subdivision method. And just getting used to those intervals that now this one is a little, that strange little bit of business there. Now you've got that in a full octave. What's going on, Slaposaurus? How you doing, my man? I can't comment. Oh, I got to be in the right. Hold on, I got to be in the right app there. Bring this to the forefront. I can't comment one way or another about that. In any case, great to see you. All right. Awesome. Excellent. Good. Glad to hear that. So one of the things that we're going to work on today as well, crazy pentatonic. How about some crazy pentatonic? So one of my favorite things about the minor pentatonics is employing some slightly different ways around getting around the neck than just moving across a given pattern. So what we've got is we've got the G minor pentatonic, so it's our G, B flat, C, D, F, and G, or I like to say F and G. But the other thing that's important is to think about the intervallic, minor third, major second, minor third, major second, and minor third. Because there's only one spot where you have those two adjacent major seconds. The next time you hit a major second, it's just a single major second. So if you get used to kind of the harmonic minor third, major second, minor third, major second sound of it, your fingertips, you can start playing it without looking. So the idea is now, instead of playing and play the G, B flat, and C together. And then the B flat, C, and the D. The C, D, and F. The D, F, and G. D, F, and G. And the F, G, and the B flat. And again, the octave of the G, B flat, and the C. Now, one of the other things I'm going to suggest that, first of all, Eric, hello. You were on my list of callbacks this week. I missed you, and I've got something for you. So we are going to connect this upcoming week. Steve, what is going on, my man? Great to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Ada, what's going on? What's the best way to know what key a song is in if you want to learn it on guitar? Great question. Clean playing today, brother. Thank you very much. Awesome. So let's just say you've got a chord progression to na 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 na. So you hum it, and then you find it, and gosh darn it, we got a D there. And the thing about that particular D thing, I'm playing Uncle Ernie there, fiddle about. But the point being is that particular cadence, if you will, harmonically, if you look at the major scale, the sequence of whole steps and half step for the major scale, 2 wholes and a half, 3 wholes and a half. So there are a couple of spots that you have what I call the double. There, there, and there. So the deal is when we've got this, most of the time we're going to hear that as a D minor, a C major, and a B flat major. So you can play minor pentatonic on it. Not like that. You can play the D natural minor scale. And you can mix the minor pentatonic and the blues scale. And the natural minor. And the neat thing is, I got a dirty pot. There we go. Is once you start thinking about the minor pentatonic, Riley, good morning. I'm going to see you at 3 o'clock, my man, the birthday boy. Intervals, my man. So the deal is, na 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 na. So that's literally walking up. We're in D. That's that minor third. And those 2 major seconds that we were talking about before. And, you know, the thing is, I think when it comes to things that we don't understand, a logical reaction, again, the human, because I want to talk about the emotional side of this today, because I think it's relevant. The human side is we're afraid of the things that we don't understand, in all honesty, and of the things that we can't yet do. So we have 2 approaches. One, you know, the funny thing is somebody was quoting something this week, you know, they were talking about kind of the pleasure and pain principle, is that people tend to be, and I don't know if I 100% agree with this, but tend to be motivated by the fear of pain more than by pleasure. And I was like, you know, I don't necessarily know if that's the case for me, but I know it is a truth for some people. So the point being is that when it comes to things that we're afraid of, that fear and the pain of that causes people to react in a way that's emotional. And when it comes to the instrument, something that's so near and dear to our hearts, having the feeling that you don't understand something that you love is really, it's a pervasive thing. For example, anytime I try and study something new, like MIDI is not necessarily my strongest language. So my ability to get in and work with program changes, pretty straightforward. But CC messages and making sure that you're kind of targeting the right device, the MIDI channel, that's pretty straightforward. But the CC messages gets on the edge of a control change of my expertise. And although I understand it, it's just not something I'm super comfortable with. So every time I get ready to do it, there's an emotional feeling that comes over it. And it's just a natural part of the human condition. But how we respond to that feeling here is a matter of kind of overcoming, like, okay, what are we going to do about it, right? So in particular, one of the things that I've been really trying to is really work on in my playing, get these wider intervals. Where you're taking the minor pentatonic, but you start working these wider intervals. That's taking a, and then you start working with different ways. You start working with those wider intervals, whether you play the included in between string, and then that minor third, that major second, that major second, with the minor third. Get a little bend. Or you can do a slide. In fact, one of the questions, Chris Alexander, you still here with me, buddy? Was asking me, he feeds me all the best material, way better than mine. Was talking about getting started with string skipping and the pentatonic. Take groups of four notes instead of playing it on adjacent strings. Hang on, let's switch cameras. Am I on the right? No. Let's see if I can figure this out this time. Let's go there. So adjacent strings. Let's do this. But driving, I love it. And then thanks again for all the great questions, Chris. So we got adjacent string, and then string skipping. You can also lead. So before I start with kind of an 8th, 16th feel. But you can also go. That's kind of got a triply divide. So basically, I'm taking those same group of four notes. You made my day, my friend. Thanks so much for that, Anna. I love that photo, by the way. So the idea is instead of going from low to high, we're starting from the third highest note. We're doing a hammer on and a pull-off, and then hammering on back onto that second note. That's say if we think of this as the third, fourth, third, second, and first in terms of the sequence harmonically, we're basically kind of going third, fourth, third, second, first, second, which you can also think of, awesome, Riley, thanks, man. So you can also think of that as a B flat, C, B flat, G, and an F, back to the G, or you can think of it on the third string, 3, 5, 3, over on the fourth string, 5, 3, 5. And the great thing about this, you only have to pick that first note because it's going to be a pick hammer, pull. So that wasn't much of a pull. So that's pick hammer pull from 3, 5, 3 on the third string. And then you're going to do a hammer on, if you will, from nowhere on the fourth string. And you're going to do that hammer on to a pull off at the third fret. Back to a hammer on at the fifth fret. So you got... What's going on, Brett? How you doing, my man? Hang on a second. I got to do the obligatory... Oh, wait. I'm stuck. I keep clicking on the chat, and gosh darn it, I can't do my greeting. Hello, Brett. Great to see you. All right, Albert, what's happening, my man? Thanks so much. Dennis, hello, hello, hello. Good morning to you. I love that photo. Look at you smiling away with your cool shades. All right. This is a family affair, and I love that. All right, let me get back to work here. All right, so here's the deal. Let me get over to the right thing, and let's get over here. Okay. No, we're going to hang out over here. All right, so, oh, there we go. I like that shot. All right. Now, the deal is this little bit here. Let's see if I can get that a little bit more in focus. What do I have to do? I have to scoot this way, hopefully without breaking anything. There we go. Now for the daring. Oh, that's great. I love it. So that idea. So we're doing that same thing that we did on the third and fourth string, but now we're leading from the second string. Now that it's groups of fours. I need my face back. Hang on a second. Let's get over here. There we go. All right. That is groups of fours. Heading down the minor pentatonic. So that's basically if we're playing a G, B flat, C, D, F, G, B flat, C, D, F, G, and a B flat. Wait. Are you in Dubai? Hey, Brett, can you tell me what the deal is with this Dubai chocolate? Because every time I go into Safeway, they're like selling the Dubai chocolate. Is it a thing there? Both. Dude. Okay, so back to this pentatonic thing. The minor pentatonic, I think most of us know it as a box shape, which is great. And so if you kind of think about it, that box, that's the first 4 notes descending. Oh, you're bringing some back. You're smuggling. So that's just kind of basically once. I need a tuner. Hang on a second. I can fix that. Just enough abuse there, and those strings are just kind of going, okay, you need to tune me. Hey, first of all, thanks for hanging out. This is my idea of a lot of fun, so awesome, awesome, awesome. Come on. There we go. Give him a little bit of a stretch there, and oh. Oh, my. And I always give it a second go through because what ends up happening is that the neck sometimes settles just a little bit, but you knew that. All right, so the deal is this being able to group the minor pentatonic together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and resolve. And the idea is to just kind of once, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I missed that last one. And then that note, getting from that note to the resolution, the root there, you can just hit a hammer on from the F to the G. You can go 4 of these. Sorry, 2. Not like that. A little slower. That's more like it. Sometimes putting a little bit of momentum behind it makes it a little bit easier. So now you need to do this riff. Doug is showing you a real good one. Awesome. Well, I hope you have fun, but the lesson, while we had in Sacramento last week, we started working on it, but don't stop believing. There we go. Got the first lick down in the song. That's way to go. All right. Now, one of the things earlier I was doing, hey, what's going on, Eric? How you doing? Good morning. Pleasure to see you. We were talking a little bit about this 3-note string pentatonic thing a little earlier, and that's just taking those same notes. And that's basically one of my favorite sequences: up, down, up, down. Up, 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 down. So it's basically a 4-part sequence. One of the things as you're working on your sequences is you can do, let's call them symmetrical sequences, where everything is the same, right? So that is to say, this guy, except for that last little hammer on everything, is going down in groups of 4 consistently, same direction, no changes about there, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a really kind of cool little groovy little riff. And by the way, if you happen to be, sorry, hang on, I got to play it the old school method. That is to say, you don't do the pinky thing, that's totally fine. Totally legit to do it like that. It's a little bit easier further up the neck. Because this little stretch right here. But it's also good practice. That's kind of hard. What you might do is just do something that's a little less. This thing about this right here, let me switch cameras. Let's get over to you. The thing that kind of makes this bit a little bit difficult is that arch of that third finger right as you get that shirt out of there. There we go. Right there. That little arch there of not getting that unwanted hammer on there. And that's kind of where that third finger, you get that extra. extra hammer-on power. But if you get that pinky going. All right, so that sequence right there is the same sequence that I was showing, which is the up, down, up, down. First of all, let me just say hello. So is it Matthias or Matthias Stolz? Great to see you, my friend. Love that photo. Switch. All right, so the point being, oh wait, hey, Nick's in the house. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Yeah, this is my better look here. So this up, down, up, down, up, down business. I got a great exercise for you. Albert, this one's got your name on it. So let me get to the right application here. There we go. Albert, this one's for you, my man. So Albert and I have become boogie buddies. And one of the things is we talk about, well, boogies and various different gear. But the other thing is because we kind of grew up in a similar time frame, a lot of the players in the era from when we grew up started off playing not with their pinky, but with the third finger. So pretty much anything that you could do was either going to be the first and third, or you'd sneak the second finger there. By the way, Jimmy Page swept. Great guitar player. So the deal is, that's where that second and third combination. The one of those that's hard, that's actually not what I've got for you, Albert. That third finger has to be on both the third and second finger. Let me get that other camera angle here. Let's do this. So what we've got is this little guy here. So basically we're at the, if you will, the 4 or the C, and the 5, the D, and the F, the flat 7. So you're doing basically a down sweep for the first 2 notes, an upstroke for the third note, and then a pull off. And that's a... And that one right there is the hard one, because you got to get from... It's a lot easier when you got the fingers spread across those different frets. Now you can... Oh, you want... All right, Albert, this one's for you, buddy. So that one right there... I'm kind of surprised I can play that. So that is the pinky at the 15th fret on the 3rd string, playing a B flat. We're sweeping through to that C, that next one on the minor pentatonic there at the 13th fret. And then we got an upstroke for that D, and then a pull off back to the C. And then that loops. All right, but getting back to our previous program. If you can switch between them. And I can assure you, for somebody out there, you're like, that's hard. But this is my whole point. Is like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm continuing to work on the things that I suck at. And gosh darn it, when you work on the things that we would normally run away from, because that, again, is that fear thing. I'm like, gosh, that sounds terrible. It's going to take a lot of work to get it. But I want to encourage you. There's the thing that's in front of you that you can't play. But when you can play that, it's not that there's the thing that's beyond that you can't play yet. It's when you can play that thing, it's all the things that you get to play because of what you did there on the way to the next thing that you can't play yet. And that is a feeling that, the funny things, I taught the privilege of teaching the John Petrucci camp and the Corey Wong camp back-to-back weeks. And one of the really interesting things was so many of the questions were the same questions, like, I want to be able to understand. Awesome. Thank you very much, my man. The actual word is love slash. But yes, that little bit of business right there. So the pinky, especially for those of us old school guys, we wouldn't have used the pinky. And nobody was really telling us like, hey, by the way, if you're going to play at pattern number 1 and you want to squeeze a note from pattern number 2 in there, you're going to probably not be able to do that down there. With the first, second, and third fingers without a bunch of effort there. And certainly not a lot of speed and control. So the idea of this building up that control with that pinky there, that would be something I would have run from, but like, hey, you know what? Well, first of all, for those of you that want to have another really good pinky exercise, if you were to take, do I have them here? Hang on a second. Do I have the 5 patterns of the minor pentatonic? Let me just check. Overlays. How about scenes? I don't have all 5 patterns loaded. Bummer. I will do a better job of having a bunch of this stuff just ready to... You know what? Hang on. This is not that hard. Give me a moment. Here we go. And voila. All right, let's take that and let's choose that application over here. And we're going to do a little bit of this. There you go. That's what we're looking for right there. But I don't want to choose. There we go. Current application. No, because that's going to switch as I toggle. We want Acrobat. There we go. That'll lock in on that. All right. And I should actually probably save that as a scene. But for right now, let's duplicate that. Okay, so that's going to be that guy, and I'm going to lock that. I'm going to go back to my home scene, and I'm going to take that back to good old... No, that's not what I want. I want that. There we go. So that's going to allow me to toggle between that and that right there. Okay, so what we've got there is the 5 patterns of the minor pentatonic. And if you take a look at the top 2 strings there, you have basically the first and fourth. I don't know if my mouse is showing up here, but that's a 1-4 and a 1-4. That's pattern number 1 at the 3rd fret. Then pattern number 2 starts at the 6th fret, and that's going to be a 2-4, I should say, a 2-4 and a 2-4. And then pattern number 3, which starts at the 8th fret, is going to be a 1-4, 1-3. And then pattern number 4 starts at the 10th fret, is going to be a 2-4, 1-4. Pattern number 5 starts at the 13th fret, 2-4, 2-4. And pattern number 1 again, 1-4, 1-4. So that is to say, there's a lot of 1-4, 1-4, and 2-4. Going on there. Hold on. My pinky does not like that. I'll be working on that. So the idea is there's just so much pinky work in going through the top 2 strings there that you really get a chance to give that pinky a chance to kind of go, okay, what can I do? Or in this case, slow it down. And if you really want to torture yourself, groups of 3 notes. Different camera. Let's do this right here. No. No. Come on. Now you, all right, you're there. Good. Okay. We want this. So the idea, so that's going to be a C and a D at the 13th and 15th frets on the 2nd string, and an F and a G at the same frets on the 1st string. So you're going to do groups of 3 notes ascending, starting off of the C, then off of the D, and then descending off of the G and off the F. I'll be working on that one as well because I can't do that yet. But the deal is, by targeting and isolating those difficult things to play, that's another one. Albert, I got one for you, buddy. So if you take the top 2 strings and you do it with the pinky, but you get to that last little bit as you can do the last group of 3. Let's see here. Let's get over to here. That's going to be, you're going to take that, basically that 1 4 1 4 1 4. So again, that's 1 4 1 as you do the first 3 notes, and then 4 1 4, the next 3 notes, and then backing down, you're just going to do the opposite: 4 1 4, and then 1 4 1. But the deal is that pinky action there, and when we get to the end, where the pinky was, right there. Hold on. So slowly that's. And that is a really kind of neat way to kind of get that pinky into the mix and use that 3rd finger for that bend, because that bend with a... And if you want to build some calluses on your pinky, that is the 15th and 17th frets on the 3rd string, and then the 15th and the 18th fret on the 2nd string. So that's 1 2 3 4 5, and then 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. And that bending with the pinky, you know, I don't know about you, but like I've got like a fractional amount of callus on that pinky, but and the tendency is to use that 3rd finger to the right. But getting that, especially if you're wanting to go from a, by instinct, I'll replace it, that finger there. Hold on, let me get over here. You. back to the third finger there by instinct, and I saw a comment come in. So, oh boy, Albert, you are chatty, my man. Hey. Okay, oh wait, gosh darn it, So the way this controller works is I have to have this particular application in the foreground. Oh, I see, hold on. Oh, it thinks it's doing something different than it's actually doing. There we go, come on. There we go. All right, so Albert, hold on, let me just read this here. Good. Nandini, what's happening? Team need to run earlier today. Have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you, Nandini. Have a great day, always a pleasure. And thanks for saying bye. That's very polite. All right, the switch on the poll raising the bar. Awesome. I'll get nothing else done on my list today except work in the pinky end, which is, the funny thing is that you begin to think about all the things, and this is what I was talking about, that barrier just in between the things that you can't do. And so you're like, I'm bend with the pinky. Why would I want to do that? Well, again, that's this kind of crazy lick. It's basically so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we could double that note. Would be an easier way to do it. Somebody's going to tear that callus right off his pinky. So basically we've got a D, E flat, and an F. At the 15th, you better not shout. You better not. All right, we got a D, E flat, and F. And a bend. And I'm a little pitchy there, my apologies. So we're going to go D, E flat, F, G. F, E flat, and then D, E flat, F, F, E flat, D. So that's the first time you use the pinky, you just do a bend. So again, just to be clear, those are the first 6 notes. And the second 6 notes are just straight up, repeating the top note and back down. So that's way easier than. Oh, come on. So that sort of stuff is kind of what I love to do because it makes you do flipping things that you wouldn't in your right mind otherwise do. And what it does is it kind of gets you used to kind of going, I'm going to get that thing. My pinky may be a little angry with me for a minute, but it allows you to just kind of build control with that pinky because obviously, first of all, look at how short that little poor little finger is. And then compared to the squattiness of the other fingers, it is just there's a lot less going on there. So the ability, we talked about this lick before. So that's the opposite of what we played. Now it's a little pitchy, I realize. I can't do that yet. That probably sounds really bad. My apologies. And because of where the hump is right there, you can't kind of get the thumb around and to get that bend. And then you can just cheat and just not bend. Sorry, the F. That little lick is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do that. That's. Saying that same again, G, B flat, C, D, F, G, G, B flat, C. Last one. You can also double those as triplets. I should say double the top note. That's basically that same up, down, and where I would have gone up, 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 down. Basically, it's a 4-part cycle. Part number 1. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. So again, that's just taking the G minor pentatonic. It's kind of groovy. All right. Angry Pinky Brooks Lundy, what's going on, my man? And Ace Frehley. You know, it's a funny thing. I don't. First of all, you know, one of my first rock concerts was Kiss at the Cow Palace with Cheap Trick opening with a very young Robin Zander, and dare I say, Robin was quite handsome. But you know, getting a chance to see Kiss, you know, who was, you know, one of my big idols at the time, and you know, such a formative time in my guitar playing. And Love Gun was a huge record for me because that was the first Kiss album that was new that I bought at probably the Record Factory. But that was, you know, it was a transformational show. But I don't really post about the passings in social media just because it's, what am I going to say that hasn't been said? And it also just, I'm always ever so slightly sensitive. It's just like, there's a conversation about, you know, some of the videos that get made. It's just like, you know, I'm playing a tribute for it. It's like, well, yeah, are you getting views for the tribute? It just feels a little strange. But in any case, Ace, you know, great tone, great Les Paul player. And, you know, they were just such a great band too. Holy cow. Tony, what's going on, my man? The Pentatonic's on fire. Boom. Great to see you, Sensei. All right, so yeah, you know, comes back and sits down, actual face, melting riffs. Haha, that's awesome. Terry, what's going on, my man? So, I'm showing up. I'm going to be working on, as I kind of get a little collection going on what I think is going to be a pentatonic and some shred stuff. What I think is going to be like a lick of the day thing. So you guys are providing encouragement for better or for worse. So, but one of the ones that I'm really falling in love with is this kind of this strange kind of triplets. So I'm going to show you that puppy. So, all right. So I didn't get a chance to answer your question last week. So let me just kind of take a moment and answer full on. First of all, thanks for all the people that are hanging out, having hopefully a good Saturday, getting your pentatonic shred going. So The crazy thing that I do is I wake up in the middle of the night and got a lot of things that I'm doing. So the idea is trying to pay proper attention to all of them and do the best that I can to give them the TLC that they deserve. But I will share one of my big takeaways for the week, and you got to be hardcore pentatonic. But the deal is, if you begin to understand there is some sequence that begins to happen with the pentatonic as you begin to look at the notes in each pattern. Now, why does this matter? Because if you can begin to tell... See if I can play that right. So I'm basically doing, if I'm playing the bottom two notes of the minor pentatonic, it's a G and a B flat. That's going to be a pick, hammer, pull. So the idea is, if you're going, okay, well, I kind of know where I'm at. That's the one. That's, first of all, that's the minor third. There's the two major seconds. The minor third. Not like that. There we go. And then a major second. And then we're at the octave. So if you get to right here, you begin to recognize that C. Oh, sorry, that was a D that I missed. And that's the double whole step. So if you have the ability to see that is the flat 7, as in 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, 5, and 1, that helps you as you're... That's that last whole step before you do that minor third and the two major seconds. That's major second, my bad. But then you're over here, and you can hear that you're starting with the two major seconds, which means the next thing, it's going to be a minor third, and then the next major second's a single. Double, minor third, single, minor, major second, minor third, and that octave. And that's then beginning to take control of those intervals, and that is starting. Being able to kind of map the neck without having to play the pentatonic box that way. So that idea. Let's see if I can play that. So that's basically, and that's basically B flat, C, and D. Back to C, to the B flat, C, D, C, B flat. You know, double the top note. Oh wow. That's hard. But that's why we practice it. So the crazy thing. So then you kind of go, well, if that's a B flat, anywhere I've got a B flat, I can do that. And so that basically was just taking this same exact shape and playing it just where it's the three notes on the same string. I'm going to do up, down, up, down, up, down with that. Not well. going to get that yet. Now, the deal is, though, if you could do that, I guess the next thing is going to be, so that's going to be C, D, and F. Now, you can do that picking, or pick and hammer, hammer, and pick, hammer, hammer, and pick, pull, pull. Oh, that's a little brutal. Right. Well, you can actually get. So that's taking that up the octave. All right, so let me just break down what's happening here. We're basically playing this 2 whole step sequence. The thing about that only happens in one spot in the minor pentatonic. It's happening between the flat 3 and the 4 and the 4 and the 5. So any place you see that is in this particular key is going to be the B flat, C, and the D. So you can see by the shape. B flat, there we go. That up bit on the 3rd cycle there. So again, there's a certain amount where you want to be aware of common sequences that you play because they're actually really good for outworking certain ideas. I love the up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's kind of a recurring theme. So, but when you're doing that, check my pitch here. I think the 2nd string slipped a little bit. There we go. Amazingly, the G string on this guitar doesn't go out of tune. So, in any case, I guess that's a long-winded answer about your question about the pentatonic. But the deal is, if you're able to kind of go, hey. Again, let me just put a little bow on the end of that. Though it's just a bunch of G's, B flats, and B flat, C's and D's. So up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, can't make that. That's that same sequence, but being able to. That's going to take me up some time to get the up. And you could. That's just hard. But I'll work on it. So coming from this idea of locating, this thing started with looking at where's your starting note from pattern number 1 on each string. Sorry, I had an E flat instead of a D. And then a B instead of, no, an A instead of a B flat. Brain on. So there we go. So that's basically your D, your F, G, and that's why it helps to know the notes. That's the B flat and the C, and the D, and then the F and G. B flat. And at the end. So again, knowing what your starting note is means that you've got a launching pad. So if you can kind of go, all right, well, not only is that the 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, 5, and the 1, this is now this is where it gets really interesting because the minor pentatonic is always kind of going lower note, upper note, lower note, upper note. So it's going to have a cadence that it follows. So if you can see that flat 3, and that flat 3, and that 5, and that 5, and that 1, and that one, and then the next, if you take, instead of playing the 1 there, you play it down there, the next note's going to be the 4, and the one after that's going to be the flat 7, and the next one is going to be the flat 3. So literally by kind of seeing what the cadence is in going flat 3, 5, I can either go to this one or that one. So let's say flat 3, 5, 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, flat 3, 5, 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3. So I can use that to kind of untangle this. The other thing is if you can start wrapping your brain around, all right, that's the 4, sorry, that's the flat 3, I'm going to skip the 4, that's the 5, I'm going to skip the flat 7, that's the 1, I'm going to split the flat 3, that's the 4, I'm going to skip the 5, that's the flat 7, I'm going to skip the 1, that's the flat 3. Then you're actually able to know why that's the flat 3, the flat 7, the 4, the 1, the 5, and the flat 3, and so on and so forth for each of these different patterns. Again, the advantage of that is that allows you to kind of not only play not just pattern number 1, but all these different patterns laterally, but then once you kind of know where you are in the scale. String though to do it. So that's the minor third just before the octave. So that means there's going to be 2 major seconds, and wait for it, that's going to be that double between the B flat C and the D. And then whether you do it as single, pairs of notes. But then you start becoming familiar with the cadence of how the notes are laid out, not just laterally, but linearly. And then you also kind of have the ideas like, oh, I knew where I'm at in the scale. There's going to be the 1. By the way, I don't think I ended up... I didn't go through that whole lick. So that's basically taking... Again, if you think about the 3rd string, 5th, 3rd, hammering on at the 5th on the 4th string. And then, I'm a little pitchy. Hang on, I need to give these guys a little bit of a stretch. But that's a kind of another one of the kind of cadences that I'm kind of like, oh, I really like these. All right. The idea is... So we're only going down as far as the root there. So you basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically. Here. Great to see you, Eric. Always a pleasure. George, what's happening? Gibson's rule. I guess Gibbons do as well. Brett Van V, what's going on, my man? Always a pleasure. Give me a moment, Albert. I see that. So the deal is this guy. Not like that. So that's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it happens with the B flat, C, B flat, G, B flat, C. And you can loop that. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and that, by the way, is hard because we're doing the hammer on there, and then the pick and hammer. And that third finger's got to get back to that fret there. Then we got 1, 2, 3, and for here we're going to hammer on, and then pick hammer. Always good to do those in fours. Then this guy. So it's the same concept as we did here, but we're starting from the first finger and going up, and then walking back down the scale to the root, and that's 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. In time, right. And so it's a really neat little kid. That's the same lick. You can also alternate pick that guy. And so you can move that around the neck. Oh, stop that. There we go. You can move that bit of business around the neck. All right. Oh, wrong application. So what happens if I go and make a comment? There we go. It takes me out of my mode there. All right. So I hope that Speedwagoner, what's going on, my man? Good morning to you. Eric, we will catch up this week. Albert, you're asking about the signal theory guys. So they say they compose their IRs using an amp and a cab model instead of just a cab. How is that different? I will have to ask Brian about that, but it probably has to do with, if I'm going to guess, you're shooting a pulse of sound. You can shoot it just through a cabinet, through a power amp, right? You can also shoot it through that pulse through an amplifier that's connected to a cabinet. And when it does that, the cabinet is reacting to the power amp section, and the power amp section is reacting to the cabinet. So there's this kind of, if you will, crosstalk that happens as they're interacting there. Because one of my favorite things is kind of, I love using IRs, but one of the other things I've got an ISO cab over there. So by using the ISO cab, I'm able to, in addition to having the IR, and I think, Albert, you and I might have talked about this in our chat. And the idea is that the amp will react differently when there's a load on it and when there's not. So I've got that box over it, and I think you guys have heard me talk about this before. It is a Mojotone Jammins, I think is what it's called. And it's a 212 cabinet. They don't technically have the 212 on their site right now, but they got a 112 version of it. And it's just an enclosed ISO cabinet. And I bought a pair of Celestion Redbacks that are rated at 150 watts, but the frequency curve is very close, kind of halfway between a vintage 30 and a classic lead 80, which is, for those of us that speak Celestion, Brett, hello, is basically what the Black Shadow is. And so you've kind of got this very correct load for that. So those are both 8 ohms. I'm probably going to buy a 16 ohm because there are some Marshalls floating around here that need to get played. Gosh darn it. So hey, so I have gone through just about everything that I want to go through today. So I really appreciate everybody hanging out, and I hope that has been helpful. And Tony, thank you. I apologize that I didn't get a chance to answer you properly last week. But the idea is I'm still kind of formulating some of the stuff that is going to be in this pentatonic course that I think, and still getting it underneath my fingertips, no less. But some of the ways of looking at the neck that are less common, but will be really helpful for people being able to unlock the neck. It's going to take a little bit of extra work, but the idea of being able to map the notes and, first of all, by ear. So I've got the gate knocking it off. So that invariably is going to be a really good exercise. In fact, I'm giving you this. So if you were to take the minor pentatonic and get in your ear. So I kind of blew it there. Oh, sorry, I missed that minor third. Minor third. Minor third. Come on, I know it's a minor third there. The idea is, one, yes, you can look at it, but the other thing about by playing it, and I apologize, I kind of bastardized it there, is you get used to letting your ear recognize where you are in the scale by the starting. It would be easy to do just the bottom two. Sorry. And you guessed it. And that will really work wonders for you kind of getting to know those neighbor notes on those patterns, but most importantly by ear and by touch. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Much, much, much appreciated. And yes, the red back is special. Tony, I hope that answered your question. I appreciate that. So thank you. Much love. Thank you so much. I hope that yields some fruit for everybody out there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Thanks again. Bye for now.